Morning, everyone. So this morning we are on to chapter 24 of the Wizards of Once, Knock 3 Times. Chapter 24 is huge, so it'll be in 2 parts. Awfully sorry. But I've got to save the old voice, you know. 2 angry parents. Hurriedly, Bodkin hid the stone that was in Canso's heart in his pockets. Quick! The witches are coming! Cried Sycorax. And Canso, can you take all of you in the boat to safety? And, by mistletoe and all the things dark, the King Witch! As I thought, the Druids must have captured him. Sure enough, the ball of iron containing the King Witch came rolling out of the mouth of the cavern and halted, as if waiting for something. Hovering over the ball of iron was Squeeze Juice. In the terror of the moment of running away, they had forgotten about the little sprite, and this time he was too far away for Tsar to grab him and put him in his pocket. "Come here, Squeeze Juice," shouted Tsar, but Squeeze Juice did not seem to hear his old friend Tsar. He had turned a very bright green indeed, and his eyes were a little feverish. "I say, Squeezy Chingwick," chanted Squeeze Juice. "I is Squeezy Chingwick." "Squeeze Juice is saying he's with the King Witch," said Caliburn sadly. Chingwink is King Witch, spelled backwards, sort of. "Come with us, Squeeze Juice," cried Tsar. "Please, come with us." But Squeeze Juice slipped between Tsar's fingers. "I just can't," Squeeze Juice cried sadly, a desperate look in his eye, before he started shaking again and flying back and forth like a poor little upside-down trapped bumblebee. "Oh, I can't leave without you. Please," said Tsar. "Don't be ridiculous. You can't fight the King Witch," shouted Canso. "Look up there." Wish and Tsar and Bodkin looked up, and in the distance the sky was dark with witches. They were flying in form and from all directions, screaming wildly, heading towards the island of the Nukkalevi. "Quick, Wish, make a force field." Wish took off her eye patch. She thought of fires, and fires leapt up, forming a protective circle around the children and turning into a great humming force field. "We can still fight him. The King Witch can't get out of the ball of iron," thought Wish. "Don't think of what he's like." Horrible images of the times she had met the King Witch before had leapt into her brain, curled up like a great dark grasshopper inside the stone. She had released him from the first place, the King Witch springing in the air, great dark feathers spread wide, talons like swords, terrifying magic blasting out of his mouth. "Don't be scared of what? Oh, that will make the force field weaken. He's trapped, and he can't do any harm to us from in there." Wish's thoughts chased around inside her skull like panicking rabbits. "Only I can let him out, and until then we are perfectly safe." Wham! The first witch lunged down from above and rammed into Wish's force field with such violence that Wish fell over, gasping as if someone had punched her in the stomach. And wham! Another witch punched into the force field again. Sycorax drew her bow and arrows and shot at the departing witch, and the creature let out a dreadful screech as it escaped upwards into the air. But the sky was full of witches, flying closer and closer. "We'll go back for Squeeze Juice later when we've got all the ingredients of the spell," shouted Tsar, trying to keep his balance inside the rocking, shaking force field. "It won't do Squeeze Juice any good if we stay here to get killed by witches." Wham! Another great ram of the King Witch in the ball of iron, and the entire side of Wish's force field caved in. "We need to go now," shouted Sycorax, "and get to the safety of the Beach of Shoes. The witches won't dare attack with my iron warriors who are there." Sycorax had sent word to the warriors to make haste to the Beach of Shoes. She did not know whether they had got there yet, but crafty war leader that she was, she wanted the witches to think that they were there. "Into the boat!" roared Encanso, scrambling, tumbling across the beach, inside Wish's dented force field. Wish, Tsar, and Bodkin ran after Sycorax and Encanso towards the sea. The King Witch in the ball of iron followed them, gaining momentum as it went downhill on the gentle slope of the beach. "Oh, only a little further," panted Tsar. They got to the log boat in the absolute nick of time, for as they scrambled in and Encanso pushed the boat off the shore, another great witch swooped to get them in. screamed Bodkin, and they had a nightmare vision of the talons of the witch. But Encanso's staff sent the boat shooting off the sand with such magical speed that they all fell flat on their backs. Splash! The great ball of iron slammed into the shallow water of the beach with such ferocity that a huge spray of water still reached them as they sped away. Trembling, shaking water in their hair, and in her eyes, some of it sea and some of it tears, Wish looked back. The ball of iron with the King Witch inside it was stopped dead for a moment, half buried in the sludge and sand, surrounded by great whirlpool ripples. Wish half expected it to be following after them, but even the King Witch seemed to have accepted that a ball of iron cannot roll on water. Crusher came panting up and tried to catch Squeeze Juice, but the little sprite dodged out of the way, screeching, "I just wish you would." Crusher tried again, but Squeeze Juice was too quick for him, and Crusher had to leave too, diving after them all. Squeeze Juice watched them go, buzzing upside down forlornly. Sometimes he seemed to get up a manic energy, fizzing with bright green sparks, and then he calmed down, and Wish could not bear to look at him so alone and so desolate. She thought she heard him shout something. She wasn't sure whether it was, "Don't use me," or "Please save me." Whatever it was unbearable. We'll save you, Squeeze Juice, I promise, shouted Wish, tears streaming down her face, and then she turned to Caliban. "They won't hurt him, will they, Caliban?" "No, they won't hurt him," said Caliban sadly. "He is the witch's creature now, so they won't hurt him." "Trust me, Squeeze Juice, we'll be back to rescue you," hollered Czar, who was also crying. "I always look after my sprites." Squeeze Juice shouted something back, but again he was too far away to be sure of what he said, but I think it was something like, "Don't worry, Master, I trust you, and that's fine. I was upside down and was stinkwick, but that's fine." And then he was too far away for them to see him any more. They had only just got away in time. Most of the witches had reached the island now, and although the ball of iron could not follow them on water, the witches had wings, and they were after that boat like eagles pursuing a mouse. And that is where, like I said, I have to finish it, because it's too long to read the next bit. And my voice is going hoarse. So I will see you tomorrow for the second part of chapter 24. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.